So today was the semifinal matchup in the World Cup between Brazil and Germany. So a lot of people were obviously very excited about this match. There are a lot of questionable things going on because Neymar's out with an injury. Thiago Silva was out. I think because he was suspended, he got a yellow card that got him kicked out of the next game. So a lot of people were already immediately assuming that Germany was going to win this. And not only did they, but it was a much more brutal defeat than any Brazilian ever could have dreamed happening. Germany ended up winning this game 7-1, and that's a score that you rarely even see in any league of soccer, and even that's when you're taking like the best team against the shittiest team that's in there. 7-1. In a World Cup matchup, nonetheless. And this is Brazil and Germany. This is like a matchup that you would assume would be a 1-1 or a 0-0 through 90 minutes. Instead, 7-1. It was 5-0 after the half. So it's bad enough for any fan of soccer or football, depending on how you want to call it, for any fan of Germany or Brazil, or in fact anybody that's had any attention towards the World Cup. So then we learn that, as we seem to learn time and time again, with anything that gets any attention on the internet, people take it and use it and abuse it and find ways to make everybody in this world, makes us look like nothing more than disgusting individuals who have no thought process whatsoever. Because guess what I find is, at the point that I checked, was the 6th most trending thing on Twitter. It wasn't Brazil destroys or Germany destroys Brazil. It wasn't, Brazil, Germany. That was number 1, obviously. It wasn't like a certain player. It wasn't anything like, it was not anything that had nothing that either had to do with the game or had to do with some stupid shit that gets trendy for no reason whatsoever anyway. It was something that should never, ever trend on Twitter. And instead, it's one of the top things. And that was the word Nazi. Let me repeat that. At the time that I checked, the 6th most trending thing on Twitter today was Nazi. Because of a fucking football game. Because Germany was playing. What the fuck does this have to do with this terrible fucking group of people from the 1940s that killed and slaughtered a bunch of Jews and tried to pretty much take over the entire fucking world? What the hell does this have to do with soccer? What, is it just because they dominated Brazil? Because now all of a sudden we can make some funny jokes about it? There is nothing in this world that is funny when it comes to the term Nazi. There is nothing hilarious about that. There's nothing funny about a bunch of people that were killed for no fucking reason. But because of a game, a fucking game, that people thought, okay, a German slaughtered somebody. Oh, this is a perfect joke for a fucking Nazi reference. Are you fucking kidding me? How does this make us look as a human race? Really? What does this tell the entire world that has nothing to do with any of this when they all of a sudden they just look on Twitter, oblivious to what the fuck's going on, and they see, why is Nazi trending on Twitter? Oh, it's a bunch of stupid fucking ignorant morons that thought this would be funny. I don't care that this is... some people say, oh, it's just, people making... No, this is not people making jokes. If anybody thinks that's funny, they're fucked up in the head. There's something wrong with that. There are reasons like this that are why I stay away from certain places on the internet. Because there are people out there that are just psychotic, disgusting, disturbing, whatever word you want to throw in there, but they are fucked up in the head. I mean, we could have a whole nother conversation of the Slenderman shit that, has been causing people to get stabbed. We could go into other things about all the fucking disgusting, pedophilia jokes, necrophilia, all this stuff we could go into in a whole other fucking video. But instead, I have to concentrate on Nazism because some a bunch of fucking ignorant assholes thought this would be a funny time to make a joke about it. There was never anything funny about that. Never. It's bad enough that there are people that are still living today that still have memories of that. It's still bad enough that people in Germany who had nothing to do with that, excluding the soccer players, definitely including the soccer players, they had nothing to do with this shit. And now that's being labeled to them? How fucking fair is that to them? What did they have to do with it? Not a damn thing. And then people think, because of a funny joke, now we can use this term. This isn't like that fucking episode of South Park where they thought all of a sudden AIDS is funny. Nazism is never going to be funny. The word is never funny. So all that I've seen today is that you cannot let anybody on the internet have any freedom to speak whatsoever because they are going to take something and just completely fuck it up the ass with something else. If you are any of the people that thought this would be a great idea to take something that is already killing a lot of people, metaphorically, I'm not trying to make a bad pun here. There are so many people right now that are Brazilian fans that are absolutely crushed. They're absolutely crushed right now. You see what's happening when I get angry? I completely lose my fucking voice for a moment. There are people in Brazil right now that are so pissed off or completely in despair right now because it's bad enough they're fucked because of how much money's been lost building the stadiums for this fucking goddamn waste of a tournament. You can sit there and tell me, oh, it's not a waste of a tournament. Well, given what it's cost the people of Brazil to put this thing on, it might as well be. Because now a lot of people are going to live in poverty for the rest of their lives because of a fucking rich man deciding, let's build a bunch of fucking stadiums there that have no use. So there are people right now in Brazil that are absolutely crushed because not only are they fucked for the rest of their lives in terms of their economy, but now they don't even get to see their home country win the championship. Not only that, but they get completely destroyed. The amount of crying shots that were in the game today were unbelievable. I have never seen that big a stage where that many people were crying like that. That's how much it meant to them. And now some of them are going to go home and go online on Twitter and see some of this shit. And there are people in Germany, German fans, that are going to go and see this shit and go, what the fuck? We can't get away from this. It's not fair. It's not fair to the Brazilians, and it's not fair to the fucking Germans. Hell, it's not fair to anybody that has to read that crap. Especially the people that grew up in this. Anytime they see the word, I'm sure it makes their skin crawl now because of the memories that, go through them. You people are fucking disgusting. Whoever it was that made these jokes. All of you are. And it's unfortunate that we can't do anything about that because obviously you can flag a tweet as spam or something like that, but what is that really going to do? It's not going to do anything. As far as I'm concerned, all these people that made these jokes should be fucking having their Twitter account banned. Just for sheer stupidity. Because that's just fucking disgusting. There are millions of people right now, millions, that are lying in either unmarked graves or, barely. Some of them not even. That died because of this group that everybody decided to make a joke about now. You think it was funny to take something like that and make a joke out of it. Especially over something as trivial as a football game. And you wonder why we've lost hope for the human race. You wonder why we're not allowed to have nice things. And you wonder just why anything that has to do with the internet, and when we loop that with gaming, when we loop that with music, when we loop that to anything that has an internet relationship, and how the mainstream media, how the government, how all these major players in this world don't take us seriously, it's because of shit like this. It's because when we have any sort of power, instead of using it correctly, instead of using it with some respect to the millions of people who died, instead we do this. We make jokes of it. There are things that can be touched, but there are some things that should never be. And there are some things that should never be used as a joke or should be funny at all. And Nazis are certainly one of them.